Yesterday we previewed the nonfiction text From Puppy to Guide Dog, and when previewing that text we also focused on spelling patterns that say the long E sound, which were this week Y and EY, that both go E. Let's say it together, E. Today we're going to further challenge ourselves by looking at the Common Core State Standard of describing the connection between two individuals, events, ideas, or pieces of information in a text by completing the following objective. Repeat after me. I will use key details to sequence a series of events. Now let's go over what does it mean to sequence. When you sequence something, you put it in an order that makes sense. Additionally, we use special transition words when we sequence, such as first, next, then, and lastly. Let's look at this example of a sequence. So this is about getting ready for school. So first, I get dressed. Next, I eat breakfast. Then, I brush my teeth. Lastly, I drive to work. Notice the order of my events makes sense. Let's look at another one. For example, usually before we go on out and play, we make sure that we tie our shoes. Additionally, before we go to lunch, we usually line up, and afterwards, we eat our lunch. Today, our job is to sequence the events of our nonfiction text. And before we do this, what we are going to do though is first we need to preview the text. So let's take a look at our high frequency words. So repeat after me. Woman, found, near, signals, wood, clever, hard, right. Now that we've gone over those high frequency words, we're going to read through the text. Now, you have a copy of the text linked to the slide deck in your Google Classroom. I'm going to read the text in kind of a soft voice. Your job is to read along with me, just so we can refresh our memory. So over here I have our textbook. And remember, you have the same thing, but I copied it onto a Google document for you. And it says, From Puppy to Guide Dog. Most dogs are pets, but some dogs help people. What is the key to making a dog a good helping dog? That's our introduction, which is page 99. Turn our page. A buddy to be. Mickey is a cute and clever puppy. He runs, jumps, and plays. One day, when he grows up a bit, Mickey will be a helping dog. He will be a daily buddy to a person who cannot see. Helping dogs are called guide dogs. To be a guide dog, a puppy must be bright. It cannot be lazy or fussy. The puppy will need to learn many skills. A new home is found for the puppy when it is 8 weeks old. Fact: most guide dogs are Labrador retrievers. They are very intelligent and easy to train. Guide dogs can be big or tiny. A family of trainers. A puppy like Mickey stays with a family for at least 1 year. The family plays with it and feeds it. They help the puppy stay healthy and teach the puppy a lot. And we can see we have some captions down here. Each puppy has checkups at the vet. Fact: 10,000 people in the US and Canada use guide dogs. Each puppy learns to act nicely with people and with other animals. The family gets the dog used to a lot of tasks and settings. Puppies may visit many kinds of places in the city. They go to homes and shops. This dog watches its favorite team. Every dog must be trained by itself. Turn our page. Learning new tasks. As time goes by, the dogs are trained how to go across the street. The dog stays right near the trainer. It learns to stop at a red signal. This will help the dog safely lead a person who cannot see the traffic. Fact, guide dogs are allowed in restaurants, stores, school, or any place a person can go. This guide dog learns to cross a street. Some guide dogs can be trained to help a man or a woman who cannot move or walk. He or she might need help with a lot of hard tasks, both inside and outside the home. A dog can be trained to get an elevator and reach objects. And then this one is just a picture of a man with his dog going shopping. Eyes and ears. Some dogs are trained to help people who cannot hear. If the dog hears a bell ringing or a yell, it would lightly tug or poke the person with its nose. A dog can be taught to alert its owner to sounds. Fact, guide dogs should not be bothered while working. Ready to guide. Training a puppy for a year is not an easy job. Owners may call or write to thank the family that raised their puppy. Training a guide dog helps a lot of people. So that is our text. Now that we have previewed the text to jog our memories, let's go back to the very beginning. And when you're there, you can just do a thumbs up like this. Remember, you have it in your packet on your Google Classroom. So we reread the text. Now it's time to look at our close reading steps. So as you can see on our whiteboard, I have sequencing steps. So my first step is I need to read the sentence stem, which will be provided on your sequencing maps, which is also included in Google Classroom. Step 2, we need to reread the text to make sure that we jog our memory to find those clues that we're looking for in the sentence stem. And finally, step 3, we need to find and write the key details. Now, how we're going to do this is, first, I'm going to model our 3 steps for you. Your job is to listen very closely with your eyes and ears to make sure that you too can be an expert sequencer. So each one of you can either write on it manually or print it, are going to get a sequencing sheet. And you can see my sequencing sheet has our sequencing words on it. First, next, then, last. Now that I have my sequencing sheet, I need to make sure that I put my name on my sheet. So I'm going to go do that. Mrs. M. So that way I know it's mine. All right. So now I'm ready for step 1. And step 1 says, read the sentence stem. So I'm going to start from the beginning and read with me as I do this. A blank is found when a puppy is blank old. When looking at that clue, it looks like I'm finding something for a puppy that is a certain age. If you think so, show a thumbs up. Okay, so I've now read my sentence stem. I need to now go inside my text and see where can I find this clue. So I'm going to go in, and here's my text, and I'm actually going to go to page 101. So I'm going to do step 2, which is I need to reread that text, and I'm going to whisper read it, just so you can hear yourself read. Helping dogs are called guide dogs. To be a guide dog, a puppy must be bright. It cannot be lazy or fussy. The puppy will need to learn many skills. A new home is found for the puppy when it is 8 weeks old. Okay, so I just did step 1 where I read the sentence stem, and I did step 2 where I reread the text. Now it's time for the fun part, step 3, where I need to find and write the key details that complete my sentence stem. A blank is found when a new puppy is blank years old. And I printed this document, and you can see I also cut some Post-it notes for myself, because using those Post-it notes are going to help me mark my key details. You likewise can either put on the computer, highlight your key details, or you can print it and circle it with a pencil or use Post-it notes like we're used to in class. So when looking through this text, I see, oh my goodness, a home is found. Ooh, so I know that we're looking for home. So I'm going to put my Post-it note right on home because that's telling me the key detail of what is found. Now I'm also looking for how old that puppy is. And I see that the author mentions, a home is found for a puppy when it is 8 weeks old. Because that answers my question for my frame, I'm additionally going to put a Post-it there. So now I have home and 8 weeks old. So I found my details. It's now time to write them on my map. And of course, I'm going to start with first because that's where we are. So I remember a home, which is a bossy E word. So I'm going to make sure I write my best handwriting. A home. You can see that, a home. And we got the E, which makes its O say its name, is found when a puppy is how old? I'm going to go here and write 8. It's kind of a hard word. And then I'm going to go down, and I'm going to say weeks right here. So I'll say weeks. Old. Wow. So what you just saw me do is I completed the following steps. Number 1, I read the sentence stem. Number 2, I reread that text. And number 3, I found and I wrote my key details on my map. Now that I've done this, let's see if we can try one together. And remember, you can always type it in on your Google Doc, or you can print and write it out and later submit a picture for me so I know that you completed your work. So I'm going to take my Post-it notes off my text to get ready because I need to make sure that I am prepared. Now you guys are so smart. I usually like to pull sticks, but I know you guys know that first I need to read the sentence what? Tell yourself. Let's say it together. Read the sentence stem. So we're going to take a look at that map again. And let's see what it says. The puppy lives with a blank for a blank. Okay. So put on your thinking caps. I want you to think. What am I looking for? I'm looking for who the puppy lives with. For how long, maybe? I'm thinking that because it says lives and then for a. Okay, we just did that. Now we are ready for step 2, where we had to reread the what. And you guys are pretty good at this. I had to reread the text. That's right. So we are now going to reread the text to jog our memories. So what you're going to do is on your packet, we're going to go to page 102. And it should say a family of trainers. Now, I'm going to whisper read that. And I want to make sure that you can hear yourself reading as we read just this white page here. A family of trainers. A puppy like Mickey stays with a family for at least 1 year. The family plays with it and feeds it. They help the puppy stay healthy and teach the puppy a lot. So now, remember, we were looking with who does the puppy live with? So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to give you a little bit of time to either circle or mark your key details in the text. And you can pause the video at this time, and then we're going to go over the answers together. All right, now that you've gotten some time and you've paused your video, let's take a look. The puppy lives with a I see a lot of you guys did this. The puppy lives with a family. So I'm going to mark family up here because that's my word that the author is telling me. Now, also, when I took a look at our feedback, I saw that a lot of you guys said he was there for at least 1 year. So we have family and 1 year. So now our job is we need to write that, and we need to make sure we write it in the next column. So it says the puppy lives with a family. So I'm going to write family right here. Family for a, that's right, year. YEAR. Wow, great job, everyone. So now, here's what we're going to do. So you saw me complete our first step. Next, we did this together and we found the next. Now, you and your family are going to get ready to do the then and lastly. So let's look at then. It says, the puppy learns to blank a street and blank at a blank. What you're going to do for then is, I'm going to have you guys, for the then, you're going to find your evidence on page 104. So I'm going to write 104, just so we keep track of that. 104, because that's going to tell me as a reader where I should look. And you can see right here, this is the picture you'll see on 104. Now, the last clue says, training a guide dog, blank. What you're going to do for that one is, we're going to go a little bit in the future here, and we are going to find our evidence on page 107. So I'm going to write 107 here, just to remind us that this is where we're going to find our key details. Now remember, your job is to read page 104 and 107. Afterwards, you need to find on 104, the puppy learns to what a street and what at a blank. And your last one is training a guide dog, blank. Now you guys may be wondering, gee, Mrs. M, why is it important to know how to sequence? Being able to sequence events is a really important skill, my friends, because it helps us be able to put events in a correct order so that it makes sense. An example would be, we probably eat breakfast before we go to school. Another sequencing step is, we probably don't cut a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in half first before we put the jelly and peanut butter on. So think about the importance of those sequencing, and I will check out your work. Thank you so much, guys.